steps, trying to get my coffee real quick.
Yeah, take your time.
Got all fucked up today.
What's up, everybody? We don't have an intro, so it's kind of a bit of a dicey start. So hopefully we're live right now. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. It is Tuesday once again, so me and MoKnowz are back for another Tales from the Crypto live stream. Unfortunately, though, my computer pooped out on me after my vacation. I came home and it didn't turn back on, so I had to reformat it for like the 5th or 6th time. So I don't have all my stuff set up. I don't have any graphics for today. We're just going to be talking about the current events. As you know, there's probably plenty of them, whether it be paranormal topics. If you guys know the big news in the paranormal activity community this week, that's definitely what we'll be talking about. I'm sure some of you have heard about it already. And then politics. It's been 2 weeks since we've been live. 2 weeks in a Trump administration is like 2 years in a regular administration. So we've got plenty of stuff in politics to talk about as well. Sorry, one second. Mo was getting some coffee. Let me see if Mo's back. Are you back?
Yeah, we're back.
What's
we're
up,
back.
Mo? Happy Tuesday.
What up, man? What up, chat? Welcome in, welcome in.
Let's go. We got Denny OC here. We got Viper first in the chat. Ahoy, ahoy, Mr. Denny. Have to fill us in on your Florida trip. I did have a pretty good trip. Got back this weekend, but the computer did not work when we got back. Yes, best show on Tuesdays. And we're going to be rebuilding the show up. Luckily, as I was telling Mo, I saved my YouTube folder to the cloud. So when I reformat it, I already have, as you can see, this scene right here. And I should be able to fill in the rest of the scenes. But we're only going to have one scene today and no graphics. So it's going to be a little bit of a ghetto Tales from the Crypto stream today. PCs hate when you ignore them. Yeah, no, left for like 5, 6, 7 days. Came back and he was mad at me. My computer was mad at me apparently because it got all blue. The blue screen of death.
Like, how dare you going out with your friends every night, drinking beers, coming home smelling like pussy. There you go.
I have to go back to playing Computer Love once a night. My song Computer Love, so the computer knows
that
I love it. What's up, Thunder? Good to see you in the chat as well, my man. Says we need to do a deep dive on the new JFK files. I was hearing that there wasn't really nothing new in them. It was just.
I mean, there was some stuff in there. I mean, well, I think the problem with the files is that it pretty much just confirmed what everybody thought. You know what I mean? Like, most conspiracy is, has some sort of truth in it, somewhere. But, yeah, I think people just found out what we thought,
Yeah, I think a deep dive is a good idea, but I think most people expected it was the CIA, and that's probably what the conclusion was from the new files as well. Viper says, F politics. I mean, these days, it's tough to talk about politics and remain calm. It's getting crazy out there. We got the biggest bro in the building. Let's go. Says the best Tuesday show. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you, biggest bro. We got Pixel Pudding here with the partner statue badge. Let's go. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Tuesday. Yo, yo, yo. We got another yo, yo, yo from Ronnie Lighto. What's up, Ronnie Lighto? Yo. Yeah,
Ronnie in the
Pudding.
building.
You can't be stealing Pixel. You can't be stealing Ronnie Lighto's words. Yeah, we need to talk about the JFK files, but we have more important conspiracy theories to talk about today. We got a wild one for sure. What's up, Dan K? Good to see you, my man. I know I haven't seen Dan K, Denny OC, Ronnie Lighto, and all the homies in the chat for a couple of weeks. Been on vacation, didn't stream any of the VV drops, but I'm back now. Let's go. Other than that, have the aliens, that the aliens have control over the dark side of the moon. I've already pointed that out. I've already proven that. I feel like that's indisputable at this point. And how that reporter got into that secret chat. That's what we're going to be talking about in politics. Politics, to me, that was the big story, and that just happened the other day. We got OG Atom in the building. What's up, Atom? Good to see you, my man. He's got the Todd McFarlane Batman badge. Has been a member of the channel for over 3 years. I appreciate you, bro. I was going to say Stan, that's why I said Stan. What's up, Stan? Signal, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about when we get to politics. But let us get to politics first. We've got big news in the paranormal community. Mo has heard about it as well. I messaged him, was like, have you heard about this? He was like, I was just about to ask you the same thing because it's pretty freaking wild. Mo, you explained a little bit about what's going on with the pyramids, and I'll try to pull up some of the tweets that I have bookmarked about it so you guys can see what it is that we're talking about.
Yeah, and again, when you hear about conspiracy theories and, myths and tales, you're like, how true could it be? But, dude, there's always been rumors that, and it's even in the Egyptian texts and hieroglyphics, where it says that there is information about the creation of everything that's stored in 300 books and yada, yada, yada. And everyone always said, Library of Alexandria, they were destroyed. What if the 8 pillars and these 2 chambers at the bottom, what if that's where everything is? because you're talking about structures that are bigger than any building in the world down into the ground. And at the bottom of those is two insane openings with two buildings. And we don't know what's down there. So what the hell is going on, dude? Like this to me, this is like one of the most insane, groundbreaking discoveries that we've ever had. And this is insane. Like
Okay, so yes, 100% I agree with you. If it's true, that's where we're coming in, because this is a new type of scan that they performed on the pyramid that found, as you can see, this description here. This is, of course, them putting together what they think it looks like, just going by these new scans that a lot of people are saying aren't even real. A lot of people don't believe the findings, but apparently the scan shows that there are 8 columns underneath the Pyramid of Giza. Well, it says the Khafre Pyramid, but then it also says... It says
it's on the Giza plateau.
okay. But
Yeah.
it says beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza, because the Great Pyramid of Giza is kind of the special one. That's the one that doesn't have any hieroglyphs in it. But it does say the scan of the Khafre Pyramid. That's what kind of confuses me. Yeah, but apparently they're saying that not only do these columns exist underneath there, how big they are. I think they're like 2 meters deep. Then there's these 2 giant rooms underneath those. As Mo was talking about, maybe that is the Library of Alexandria. Maybe that's where they kept all the ancient scrolls. I mean, who knows at this point. And then also it has like these spiraling cords or something around each of the pillars, which to me shows some type of technology. And we've always speculated here on the Tales from the Crypto channel that the pyramid, at least in particular the Pyramid of Giza, was actually some type of energy conductor, or it used some type of resonance of noise to create energy. I mean, there's some really strange stuff going on with the pyramid.
Yeah, using the Earth resonance,
yeah, this
vibration.
just kind of confirms what we were saying. I mean, if it does have these poles that go down into the Earth and they have those spirals on them, I mean, that's part of catching that resonance of the Earth. So, I mean, I feel like it's just proving us right here. Viper says,
yeah, but are there people actually disputing this? Because LiDAR and this new, this SAR, technology with SARP, what the fuck it's called, like this aerial radar shit, X-ray, like isn't really, it's new, but like it has been proven to work. Like they've tested it in many locations. So, I mean, for people to dispute that that's not actually there, you know where that information comes from? That fucking Zawi Ahari guy from over there. Because, dude, there's something going on, bro. Like, there's something bigger that they just don't want us to know. Like, this is gatekeeping at its finest, in my opinion. Like, the fact that they don't let people drill, the fact they don't let people dig, the fact that they don't even let people put, like, a microscopic fucking pinhole in the pyramid to check that new chamber that they found. But yet, with all the other stuff that they've done around the pyramid, has done way more damage to the pyramids themselves than one little pinhole that they're talking about putting in. They're protecting something. Like they don't want us to know.
yeah, that's kind of how it's been for a while. There's a lot of people that have a lot of speculation and even historical documents that say that there's something underneath the Sphinx's paw, but Egypt will never let people go down there and try to discover if there actually is anything underneath the Sphinx's paw. So I hear what you're saying, and that Zoffrey guy, or whatever his name is, I know he goes back and forth with Graham Hancock a lot. And he's the one that's always trying to disprove other people's theories that don't go with the mainstream theories about Egyptology and the history of the pyramids. But, I mean, I'm not so convinced, only because, I mean, I hear what you're saying about it. I know it's a brand new type of radar. It's just that it's too good to be true, too hard to believe. I mean, I'm having a hard time believing that this is actually true. I need to see some evidence. Can we do a little bit of digging? Are they not going to dig at all and we're just never going to know?
They're not going to allow it. They're not going to allow it, because if they do, then all the money that's put into mainstream academics is going to be long gone. Because when they start blowing these fucking things out of the water that they're teaching and, getting paid to teach in schools and fucking, universities, then what? Now you got to rewrite everything. You know what I mean? So all that money is going to be gone. So, of course, there's a lot of money behind the idea of, like, our ancient civilizations as to why they don't want this shit to come out, dude. But to me, and I'm asking this question point blank in chat too, you mean to tell me that it just happens to be circumstance that all these different civilizations across the globe happen to build the same way, and they all happen to worship the same feathery, serpenty god that came over on a boat, traveled? Like, the stories are all the same. The myths are all the same, and to some extent, right? You're going to tell me that these buildings just happen to be built, and they just happen to take fucking 10-ton fucking blocks and just levitate them up into the air. Like you actually believe that? Because to me that just sounds crazy. The
Let me know
fact
in
that
the
there's
chat.
buildings under the ground 2 kilometers down would be less crazy than believing that to me personally.
Let me know what y'all think in the chat. I know Ronnie Lido is a skeptic, so I'm pretty sure he is doubtful of it. We need some proof, though. Viperactive asked, what day did we fly into Florida? You think I'm flying with all the planes that are crashing right now?
Shit,
I hopped my
for real.
happy butt into my car and drove, well, not even my car. I got a rental and drove 16, I think it was 16 hours to get there. It was a 15-hour drive. Had a couple of stops to get gas or whatever. Took us 16 hours to get there, man. It was rough. It was a long drive and a long drive back. GOV uses incognito mode to talk to each other. Either way, something is effing down there. Ain't that the truth? Structures have not been confirmed, says Autumn, so he is a bit skeptical. Groundbreaking for sure. How did they dig a half a mile deep with toothpicks? So yeah.
Perfect alignment, by the way. Perfect north-south alignment. Every single column is the same exact size. Every single chamber is the same exact size. So you mean to tell me that if we were to build this today, dude, it would be so fucked up. Those pillars would be so far off, they'd be 10 degrees slanted. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, there's no doubt. Like, if this is true, it was definitely a higher form of technology. You can't tell me that Egyptians, just as we know them, were able to build that. That's just impossible.
because they didn't build it.
Like I've always said, they discovered the pyramid. They didn't build it, at least the first pyramid.
There you go.
Autumn says, for decades, people believed pyramids were structures from some sort of energy and that the tip was made of metal. That's right. Me and Mo talk about it all the time on here. There's actually the headstone, I think is what it's called, on the top that's been missing for a long time. But if you look at the structure, the way that the Pyramid of Giza was built, we've gone into in-depth analysis about how a certain key of the musical resonance that comes from the earth could be used on these chambers if they put the right materials in there to create some type of energy. And it's something that they talk about on places like History Channel all the time. So I mean, it's a legitimate theory. And I mean, it is strange that the Pyramid of Giza is the only pyramid that doesn't have any hieroglyphs in it whatsoever. Messaging the media future targets to bomb is wild. I mean, we're definitely going to talk about that when we get to politics. I don't think they did it on purpose. They're just not good at their jobs. No doubt an alien life form created the pyramids. Why did the aliens leave us? I want to go to Pluto. I mean, that's just one of many theories. What if it was another civilization that died out after the asteroid hit? What if it was another civilization of humans that hit some point of intelligence and left and went to Mars or to another planet, or they time traveled? Who knows, man? Anything's possible if this is real, in my opinion. That guy has a problem with the archaeology community. You have a lot of the hardcore mainstream archaeologists. I mean, the people who have put in decades into this don't believe anything that Graham Hancock and his group say either. So it depends on what side you're on. I watched this guy named Mini Minuteman, and he doesn't believe any of this stuff, and he does a pretty good job of trying to disprove it too. So I'm still on the fence about it. The whole ancient astronauts theory in general. Wasn't there
Every time I see people trying to disprove any of this crap, it's just like, well, it would be too good to be true. It's like, well, there's too much money about it. We take too much time and research to rewrite history. It's like, bro, how about you just look at the fucking evidence and be like, yeah, there's got to be something to that. Like, there's just no way.
Watch Mini Minuteman. Trust me, he does some good stuff about it. Wasn't there another finding with pyramids in Antarctica and people claiming that it suppresses human conscious? There's been a lot of stuff discovered in Antarctica recently.
A dark pyramid down there.
Sometimes you never know what's real and what's not. I mean, I heard a whole theory about how they found a black pyramid underneath the ice in Antarctica, and it's like the exact same size as the Pyramid of Giza, but I haven't seen it myself, so I don't know for sure. Autumn says it's all theoretical. Yes, it is. Humans have.
But then again, it's like, why, if you have nothing to hide, right? Then like, why try to cover things up? Why is it when we look at these Google Map areas of Antarctica where people talk about like that whole story with that military guy, right? Where they took the plane over.
Yes.
They lost all the instruments, right? They had to land. As soon as they landed, they got fucking dragged into this fucking bunker. So again, if there's been other people, not just this guy, that has been over there and they said, you know, weird things started happening around this opening, you know what I'm saying, in the ice. Well, yeah, like it could be the electromagnetic shit. And if you go back and you look at the pyramids and Tesla and all the ideas, right? Like this, it all goes back down the same rabbit hole of, you know, ideas. So the Earth's resonance, you know, the electromagnetic frequencies and trying to, you know, get that energy up into the Earth and harness it, right? Like they're all doing the same shit. So.
I mean, if the conspiracy theorists are proven right, I mean, they're gonna feel like the kings of the world, and they're gonna have a million more conspiracy theories about everything. You're never gonna be able to tell them they're wrong again. Autumn says this finding won't break society. I don't know, man. It depends on how they explain it away. I mean, if your explanation is just the regular old Egyptians were able to build it 2 kilometers deep with rooms underneath it, then, I mean, you're not going to be able to convince me of that. So the only other option is that it was some futuristic stuff or some aliens. So in my opinion, now, it kind of does change, break society a little bit. Maybe it breaks my mind. That's what it is. Ronnie Lido is actually all in on this stuff. The skeptic. I'm surprised to hear that. Viper says, I was in Florida. Oh, we were down in, it's by Naples, between Naples and Fort Myers, Fort something. And it's called Bonita Springs. It was really nice, too. Really nice little, kind of a rich area. But we got an Airbnb. So it was cool. Need one more for a bachelor trip in Myrtle Beach. Am I in a bachelor trip? I mean, can I bring my kid? I don't go anywhere without my kid. Ronnie Lido says, this is groundbreaking info that has been found back in 2020. Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, that's when they ran the scan. Yeah. Okay. It was actually 2022.
So they've been analyzing this for a while? Man, I want to hear some mainstream Egyptologists disprove it. Or better yet, can we just do a little digging? Let's just find out. It's not that hard. It's right there.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if you got nothing to hide, you know what I'm saying? Again, if anybody that's been pulled over, you know, or had cops show up at their door, if you got shit to hide, you ain't gonna let them search. You ain't gonna let them in. But if you ain't got nothing to hide, trust me, I've been there. Officer, come on in. Come check the car real quick. Go ahead. You got drug dogs? You want to bring somebody else? Go ahead. I got nothing to hide.
Yeah, they would make money from it. They would have a bunch of people coming in to study it. I mean, they would have documentaries made about it. I mean, it's a money-making situation, so it doesn't make sense to me that they would want to hide it. And
no, it's a money-losing situation. That's why. That's why they don't do it.
They lose their funding.
They lose their funding because everything that we know that we've been taught to learn about this crap would be pretty much out the window. And then they'd be like, well, we're not going to be the ones teaching it because who the hell's going to believe us? We've been lying to people and they've been fucking buying it hook, line, and sinker for fucking decades and generations now. You know?
Thanu says, I know in Dubai they have to use big columns underground to build tall buildings in the sand. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was wondering how they were building in the sand. So maybe that has something
there's always some supports underneath, but when the supports underneath go down into the earth further than any building that goes up in the world, that's a little crazy, regardless. Even if there was like, listen, if there was like a 10-foot fucking, structure in the ground, all right, cool. They might have had some support ideas for holding up the pyramids. Okay, cool. But that far into the ground with that sort of like ingenuity again, it's either some sort of insulation coil. It almost looks like kind of like a wire if you break down those columns, right?
That's the crazy part.
Or is it a walkway? Right? Is it? I mean, that would be fucking dangerous, right? You know what? Real quick, this is something else I've been thinking about. If these really were built by people, and they were built by the people that we think they were, Egyptians, whatever, how come we never find like bodies and bones? You know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, okay, cool. So we had 8 columns built into the ground. At least 1,000 people probably died making them, right?
Right.
I mean, people died making these crazy structures, right? When they built like Manhattan and all, like people were dying left and right. You mean to tell me that like they haven't found bones of like the people that built these fucking structures? Because I'm telling you, man, like you get somebody fucking falls off the column, and they're like, just leave him down there. You think they're gonna drag his body up fucking 2 kilometers back up to the earth? Hell no. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, why don't we ever find like human remains around these areas? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were built by people, I feel like people would have died building it. That's just an idea. But...
No, I agree. Yeah. I mean, they did find burial places for some of the builders, but I feel like there's a lot of builders and not that many burial places. Ronnie Lado says, the recent lecture I watched of the scientists talking about these findings is pretty compelling, to say the least. All right. So even Ronnie Lido's convinced. That tells me something. The Conqueror wiped them out. Which Conqueror wiped who out? I'm always on the side of being allowed to ask questions and look and find out. That's it. We still don't know for sure, though, Ronnie Lido. Don't get too sure. I mean, it seems pretty hard to believe. Anytime someone says, tells you can't ask questions, you're in a psyop. That's true. That pyramid down there is crazy. 25 hertz plus water equals magic. Interesting.
Well, every element or mineral has a like a frequency that it responds to.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's like even like the periodic element of table of elements or whatever.
This is what Terrence Howard was talking about.
Well, yeah, that's an idea, yeah, that he leans into, but it's a true idea. Where like I said, these elements do respond to different charges. You just got to find the frequency.
Right. Viper, we did actually drive through Tampa a couple times to get there and get back. It was on the way. Read the book Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. Depressing, but shows how we are just a drop in the bucket on Earth's timeline. Yeah, somebody showed me like the calendar of if the timeline of the life of the planet Earth was a 1 year calendar, the amount of time that humans existed would be like the last second of the last hour of the last day. So we're just like a tiny little blip. That's 100% accurate. Atom said,
It was crazy.
yeah, it's hard to fathom. The why is because as humans we are stupid. We can't unite as one, so we prefer secrets for the sake of power over foreign countries. Yeah, and I don't know if we're ever gonna unite as one, like as a world.
Oh, we would.
Or new world order. I think we should.
Let aliens fucking show up at the fucking
As what Reagan said. Yep.
Yep, just let the aliens fucking show up, dude. Let Independence Day turn around. We'll show you unity real quick. You know what I mean?
You're right. I do need to turn on dark mode. Like I said, I just reformatted, so I don't even know how to get there real quick. Or I would do that. Sorry about that. People, that was another thing. The Great Floods is a story that every different civilization has, even though they're not connected in any way. It is crazy for us, but these people had hundreds of years to build this. No TV, thousands really, phones, games to keep them distracted. That's true, and they might have used slaves as well.
Yeah, well, look at what the hell was I just watching? I was watching something about the Aztecs and the Mayans. Bro, like some of these drawings and stuff that they done, they show like the Mayan civilization playing with dinosaurs. If you want to talk about like fucked up timelines, like how the fuck would they even know about dinosaurs, bro?
That's a good question.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like there are actually like cave drawings and like paintings and stuff done from them where it actually shows like dinosaurs interacting like with the people. So I mean, again, like think about it was like fucking millions upon millions of years before them, right? Like how the fuck would they even know?
Exactly. How would they know how to even draw them if it wasn't something that, I don't know if it was passed down or what, or they actually witnessed it. So yeah, I mean that's the only explanation that makes sense. They didn't just look at the bones and put it together. They weren't that smart. People do find stuff all the time. Yes, they do. Viper says if it is sacred ground where they have these kings buried, they would not leave just anyone laying around out of laziness. Well, the question is, are the pyramids even used as burial grounds, which is what the Egyptologists say, but however, no actual corpse has ever been found in any of the pyramids. So that one's I'm a little skeptical on myself. Bones won't last 10,000 years if they just dumped their slaves. Bones won't last 10,000 years? Human bones? Might be right about that. I don't know how long it takes for them to disintegrate. Stan says, whatever built these structures, why didn't they build cars or planes? Aren't they easier to build than pyramids? Maybe they have spaceships? I would not say.
I mean, there are thoughts that they did. I mean, there's what that sparrow fucking looking bird thing they found at the first Egyptian tomb, right? They found it like at the entrance. Remember that thing?
I remember the little like figurines they found that they said were aerodynamic, but I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, exactly. They always said it was a bird. But then
right.
they started breaking down the structure of this thing, and they said, well, it couldn't have been a bird because of how they showed the top wings were like inlaid.
Yeah, it had
they
like
said
a
if
tail
it was
wing.
Well, it had like a carve, like a cutout,
Right.
where it could have been a tail wing. But the main thing was like, well, if it was a bird, it would have been all one piece, and it wouldn't have been like so thick in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
Yeah,
Was that a bird or was that an actual plane? I mean, they used to talk about launching these things with catapults and all sorts of crazy ways to get things airborne.
True. If you had a little bit of, if you were aerodynamic enough, then you had it launched from a catapult. Maybe you could glide. Who knows how far? A long, long way.
I mean, you can do it today. Actually, I think people launch. They launch planes like the little. I forgot they're like the little hobby flight things. You put them on a hill and you get like a bungee cord, dude, and you like. Get the thing going, and you roll it, and you like snap it. You could actually get people fucking airborne by doing that. So
that's crazy.
I mean, we use it today.
It'd be a little dangerous, but it'd be fun. Stan says, I can't wait till AI gets fully operational. AI will reveal it all, but will we trust what AI is telling us as the truth? Because if you think about AI, it's just taking all the information from whatever databases, whether it's the internet or not, doesn't necessarily mean.
No, that's not what AI is doing. AI is scanning it and looking for clues as to ways to break it down. As a matter of fact, one of those scriptures, one of the oldest ones, I actually just watched a video on it. You know what I'm talking about? They actually just fed it through AI, Started with a V. Fucking have to look it up.
The Voynich manuscripts.
The Voynich manuscript. Yeah, they actually just ran it through AI, and they said AI was finding patterns and stuff like that humans could never find, and now leading them down new rabbit holes, which might actually crack the language. And that manuscript is nuts. You ever look through that?
Oh yeah, Voynich manuscript is wild. If they found it like in, I don't know, the 1300s, 1400s or something, and nobody can decipher it, it's written in a whole different language, and it has pictures of all these crazy plants that nobody knows what they are, what they came from. Nobody knows what it means. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if AI can unravel the mystery, because code breakers have been trying to figure this one out for hundreds of years. And a lot of people just think it's just gibberish. There's nothing to figure out, but maybe there is. AI would be able to do it.
Quantum computing might be able to crack that shit.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. We're going to find out.
Ronnie says we need some telepathy tapes, kids, to go down there in their minds. I was actually going to do a paranormal topic on, maybe we did it on, what's it called? Remote viewing? I think we did actually do a topic on remote viewing.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I think they found that black pyramid in Alaska or in Antarctica. And that's what you're talking about, is people being able to use their mind to go down underneath the pyramids and see if there actually are the columns there. I say we just dig. Dan K says, 200 years ago, we lived in stone castles and bathed 3 times a year. Humans have peaked. Time for us to go away. I mean, it's looking grim. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm worried. I still think the pyramids were around long before the Egyptians. So do I. Yeah, like I said, I think they discovered them. And then they tried to build their own pyramids to match them. Humans cannot decipher the zodiac letter. Is that true? The zodiac letters are indecipherable? I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced yet any more proof, but it is definitely very compelling. I didn't know that they had been studying this for 4 years, and that it's like actually a scientific paper, a scientific like news conference they had talking about this. So maybe there's something to it, although the Egyptologists don't seem to think so. If you don't know the telepathy tapes, now you have a fun rabbit hole to go down. No, I'll have to check those out. I don't know what those are. All right, we're not switching scenes tonight like we usually do, but we are going to switch topics. We're going to talk about sports next, just for a minute. Mo, you've been following the NCAA tournament. Did you fill out a bracket at all?
No, my homie hit me up, though. He was like, hey, you think we could use AI to come up with a bracket? So I fed it through, and it gave us all the fucking favorites. I was like, well, there's your bracket. And
I'm sure a lot of people are doing that, too.
Yeah, I don't really care to watch basketball too much, especially college, but I know some good players.
I love basketball, but I don't pay attention much to college basketball. I mean, I guess I could talk about going to the Miami Heat game. I got my shirt on.
Oh, did you go to the Heat game?
So yeah, that was one of the things on the way down for our vacation to Florida that my kid said he really wanted to do, was go to the Miami Heat game. It was only an hour and a half or 2 hours from where we were staying. So, and it was only, they were playing the Pistons. It was only like $7 for tickets, but that was for like nosebleed tickets. And I figured since I was on vacation, one thing I always wanted to do was to get some like really, really good tickets, like get down on the floor. So what I did was I used my skills gained from crypto and NFT and VV sniping skills, and I watched that market for some good tickets to hit. And there were some really cheap row 7 ones behind the Pistons bench that I had in my my basket and was getting ready to buy. They were like $170 each, which is really cheap for that spot. But I kept my eye on it just in case something else popped up. In the morning of the game, a row 6 behind the Heat seats popped up, 2 of them for like $70 each. It was a super, super great deal. So I jumped on those. We got in row 6. You could see us on ESPN during the replays and stuff. So it was really cool. We went to Miami like 6 or 7 hours early. Spent the day in Miami looking for Heat gear to wear to the game. And yeah, had a good old time. Oh, except for Miami has the worst traffic. I'll never go back to Miami. The traffic there is just unbearable.
New York.
Yeah, my bad. You probably know already there. But yeah, Miami was absolutely ridiculous. We were hoping the Heat would win. They were on an 8-game losing streak. They're trying to make the playoffs. It was tied up at the end. And then Cade Cunningham shot a 3-pointer and banked it in at the buzzer to beat the Heat. So they took the L.
Well, there you have it.
There you go. That's our sports for today. Ronnie Lytle says sports is all kayfabe now, unfortunately. I don't know about that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the NBA playoffs, to see if LeBron and Luka can come together and win the championship, or if Steph Curry can win one now that he's got old Jimmy Butler. But all right, we're going to act like we're switching scenes over to everybody's favorite topic. That's our scene switch. It's politics, y'all. And as many people, and we got Woody here just in time. I'm glad you're here, Woody. We're about to talk politics. I need you on my side. what just happened in politics is pretty wild. Of course, there's been a lot of things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, but just a couple of days ago, I'm sure you have heard already. If not, I'll explain it to you. Basically, the Department of Defense head Pete Hegseth, former Fox News weekend host, and they had Tulsi Gabbard in there. Basically, all the big people in the Trump administration were coordinating their attack on Yemen, and they were doing it through the Signal app, which I think is like a Telegram. It's a chat app. They had their own room. They had accidentally invited a dude named Goldberg, not Bill Goldberg, unfortunately, but a guy who works for The Atlantic. He was a journalist. They accidentally had him in there during the whole conversation. So, of course, he copied it all and screenshotted everything, was listening to the whole thing. And a lot of people are upset that national security was put on the line here, that they had this chat going. They were talking about some top secret stuff. They were talking about the attacks that were about to happen. And it was in this unsecured chat where who knows who could have been in there. It was Goldberg who was in there, but it could have been anybody. But to me, what's even more egregious to that, and what people haven't really caught on to yet, is the fact that they're even using Signal. The reason why they're using Signal to do these type of planning, and they've probably been doing it the entire time since the administration began, is so that nobody can use the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, to get the information that they're talking about, which it's illegal to be doing this type of planning, national security planning, in places where FOIA would not be able to get those documents to find out what was being said. So they're purposely doing this in secret so that they can delete these chats, and they have no type of accountability when they break the law. So that kind of means that they're planning on breaking the law, or why else would they be hiding it like this? That's my take on it, Mo. What is your take on that whole situation?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Sorry. I got a bowl. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the fuck are they hiding shit from Democrats. Like, what are they really trying to hide from? It's just kind of weird using that app. But yeah, I don't know.
Hiding from accountability.
I mean, you would think, but maybe. Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at what they said about Hillary Clinton, all the things with her possibly putting the national security on the line through her server or whatever. What they just did a couple days ago was like 10 times, 100 times worse. And now, of course, the Republicans are all playing it off like it's no big deal. The Democrats are saying people need to resign, or I don't know about being arrested, but people need to resign over this. They're all laughing it off. Pete Hegseth, the first time he was interviewed about it, claimed it didn't even happen. And then, of course, everybody confirmed that it did happen. So he just sat there and lied like it was nothing. And now he's like, okay, well, I lied. I was wrong. It did happen. And I'm not resigning, and nobody cares. But I feel like people probably should care, because it seems
people
like,
definitely care. You know what I mean?
People on the right don't care. They're like just playing it off like it's no big deal. It's the hypocrisy that's wild. It's the hypocrisy. Imagine if Obama or Biden had done this. Imagine if Kamala had done this.
Of course. But it's the left and the right. It's always the same, no matter what side. Which, again, I still think it's fucking bullshit.
I don't feel like Democrats are as much of hypocrites, like the way Republicans are just blatant hypocrites. Like the things that if Biden or Kamala would have done half the stuff that Trump done, they would have gone, wow, they would have gone crazy. But it's not necessarily the same way when Biden does something. Like if they criticize Biden when he does something wrong. Ratcliffe
1,000 ways to skin a cat. You know, you can piss off people many ways. You know, again, Democrats and Republicans do it very differently.
Stan, who's Ratcliffe? Is he in the administration? It sounds familiar. I'm not exactly sure. Autumn says it's like the WhatsApp. No surprise from the qualified non-DEI hires. Oh my goodness, this Pete Hegseth is like a weekend Fox News host, and now he's in charge of the Department of Defense. And now Trump calls the Department of Defense the Department of War, which is what they called it before World War II. So the Mr. Anti-War guy is now calling Department of Defense Department of War. That's pretty freaking wild too. Couldn't they just use Hillary's server now that she's done with it? I mean, this is even worse than Hillary's server. That's the thing. What about Hillary's emails? What about these people's DMs? What's up, Captain Obvious? Good to see you in the chat. Said Signal was completely approved to be used and stored on a server by the CIA, peer-to-peer encrypted communications. Was it really encrypted? Because if Goldberg was in there and was able to read everything, that means it wasn't encrypted. I don't know, man. They're doing
I think after the fact it's encrypted, but if you're there real time, you would have access to it, no? I mean, the encryption only works for outside of...
That might be right. But I didn't realize.
As far as the approval of the app, I mean, you I think I told you a little bit about what the hell's going on, but I mean, I got my surgery coming up on the 3rd, so I've been a little preoccupied with some other things.
What are you getting surgery? Was it on your mouth?
Yeah, finally getting the rest of my work done.
Nice,
so.
Good stuff.
14 grand later.
We got news now here. It's about to get crazy. I don't even know if I want to read some news now, marijuana chat, but I guess we will. Almost when old dude left all those classified documents in his Corvette in his garage. People don't resign over scandals anymore. Yeah, Republicans don't resign over scandals anymore. Al Franken resigned because he pretended like he was grabbing a girl's boobs while she was asleep. Didn't even touch her. And he had to resign over that. Al Franken, which that blows my mind.
You can't pretend to fondle somebody.
Whatever. What he says, it's the WWE presidency. It seems a lot like the WWE presidency. It seems a lot like Idiocracy. Yeah. I don't remember what that president's name was that Terry Crews played, like Mountain Dew Comancho. I think his name was Comancho. I feel like we got Donald Trump Comancho now. How do you accidentally add a reporter that his excuse is as foolish as the crypto scammer that accidentally rugged while taking a piss? That must be a new thing. I haven't been paying attention to crypto lately. I didn't know somebody piss rugged on on the.
Yeah,
people.
I pretty much checked out of that fucking category.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to crypto at all recently. But I think it had something to do with his initials because he was JG in the chat because it's like Jeff Goldberg or something. And there's a member of Trump's administration who also has the initials JG, and they were all using their initials in there. So I think they meant to add the other JG. But that's still pretty incompetent. And Mr. Stark, I thought,
JG Wentworth?
JG Wentworth. Yeah, well, maybe that's the JG. Rob says, I missed the start because I thought Vault was still sitting courtside with Pat Riley. Pat Riley ain't there no more. Well, he might be the owner. What's up, Rob T? I was just talking about my trip to the Miami Heat game, how we got into the 6th row and was watching ourselves on ESPN and the replays. It was pretty dope.
Oh, my God. That fucking commercial just popped in my head.
Oh, no. That's a good
commercial. You have a
man.
settlement, but you need cash now.
Don't do it, dude. That stuff gets stuck in your head. That's a good song.
Well, JG Wentworth.
I put that on my mixtape. Captain Officer says he wasn't in the outside of the chat, so he can read it. I hear you. If the chat gets subpoenaed, they get a file full of code and no text. Okay. Well, I mean, if they subpoenaed it and they have access to the unencrypted chat, I'm sure they have to provide that. Autumn says, but when you add on Signal, it shows full name of your contact unless the clown used the same initial on 2 people. Probably use the same initial on 2 people. It's not like these guys are professionals. It's not like they know what they're doing. I don't know, man. It seems like a pretty big breach. I know they had former Department of Defense head. I can't remember what his name was. Some old white guy, of course. But he was talking about how it was something that's like 10 years ago would seem absolutely unimaginable. If somebody would have done it, they would have gone to prison, and now they do it and it's just like no big deal. Come on, see, now you got it stuck in Captain Obvious's head. It's going to be in my head when I fall asleep tonight. I already know that's going to be the background music to all my dreams tonight. Thanks, Mo.
877 cash now.
They had the chat on a race after a few hours. I mean, cool, but they don't even know who's in the chat. I don't know, I guess people think it's not as big as of a deal as I think it is. It seemed like, I mean, not just me, but a lot of people feel like this is a pretty big breach of national security.
It was calculated.
Anything else going on, Mo, in politics that you want to talk about?
No, actually, no, not really. I've been just very, very engaged in. Dude, I'm still down fucking rabbit holes, man, of all sorts of crazy shit. And like I said, that with my dental work, watching PFL fall apart.
Oh no,
that's pretty much all I got time for.
Yeah, rabbit holes are fun to go down. What about this, the thing going on with the Venezuelans? So basically, Trump is taking what he calls members of, I don't remember, Trace Agua or something, the Venezuelan gang.
Trace Agua, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just taking them into planes and sending them back to Venezuela. But there's no court hearing, there's no proof of it or anything like that. And one of the people in particular who was taken by the Trump administration back to Venezuela is actually a gay barber who left Venezuela because Trinde Wagwa, whatever their name was, coming after him. So, like, he feels like he can prove that he's not a member of this gang. And the real problem is the no due process. So let's say that for some reason Trump came to my Twitter page and saw all the bad things that I said about him, and he decided that he wanted to have somebody come over and just snatch me up and put me on a plane and send me to Venezuela. Even though I'm not a member of Agua and I'm an American citizen, there's no way to prove that because there's no due process whatsoever. There's no point for me to go to court to say, hey, no, look, I'm an American citizen. So now that you're doing this to people that are maybe not American citizens and maybe they are members of this gang, without the due process, he can now do that to anybody. Does that not worry you?
Was the dude in the country legally or illegally?
Nobody knows because there's no due process. I mean, he can say they weren't.
But asking him, I'm asking if the guy himself is being interviewed now, and they're like, all right, so were you in the country legally? Has he answered that?
I think that was a guy who was seeking asylum, and all the people in the Trump administration say that those people are here illegally, but they are not here illegally. It is illegal.
Well, they are.
No, it was not their decision to be put into America after seeking asylum. All they know is that if you want to come into America legally,
no, it was a decision from a bad administration.
A port of entry, and when you enter through a port of entry, you claim asylum. That's a legal act. Claiming asylum is a legal act. So then, if America says, "All right, now you wait in America until your court date," how are they illegal?
Well, because again, that's what should not be. That's what needs to be undone.
It should not be. I agree 1,000%. Okay. I think it's messed up, but it's not illegal.
Right, so if we get rid of that, it's like, again, we talked about this, going to a fucking football game, being like, oh, I ordered a ticket online, I'm waiting for my ticket to be delivered. They don't let you in the fucking stadium while you wait for your ticket.
That shouldn't be the law, but it is the law.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. But based on that, they're going to revoke that, get rid of that.
But they haven't revoked it yet, so they're still taking these people out that haven't done anything illegal at all. They're sending them to Venezuela. When they get to Venezuela, they get handcuffed to get their heads shaved, and they get thrown into prison, and they've never once broken any law. They haven't broken any law. They came there seeking asylum, which is totally legal. This is not... Yeah, well... This is just crazy.
Get rid of the asylum, because, again, you shouldn't be able to... You shouldn't be able to fucking go in and, again, walk around freely while you wait.
That's
to find out.
I agree. I don't think she should either. But according to the law, right now you can.
Right. Everyone said he was legal. He was legal according to asylum. I get that.
Right.
But if this administration wants to remove the asylum, then this is what's going to happen.
They haven't removed it yet.
Well, I mean, they must be if they're just getting rid of everybody. If you're not here legally, you're gone. Like, if you don't have full citizenship, you're gone.
It blows my mind.
That's the real legal way until the fucking... So everybody else decided, oh, well, let's just make it easier. We don't want all these people at the fucking border. We don't want the other countries that have to chip in and help us out at the border either. Let's just let them walk around free. Yeah, that's cool. That'll work.
I mean,
try that at a fucking sporting event. Try it at a fucking amusement park.
What they needed to do, and what Joe Biden tried to do, was put in some more funding to hire a bunch more asylum judges. That way, the asylum hearings will happen within days. But Republicans
asylum should never be a thing. Okay, because asylum should never be a thing. You shouldn't have that option to come in for a short period of time because you can do a lot of damage in a short period of time.
Do you know what the Statue of Liberty says? You live in New York. What does the Statue of Liberty say?
I don't know, but motherfuckers came here and got in the right way.
Because you're weak, you're tired and weary, and I don't know, something like that. So, I mean, it seems pretty un-American to be like, we're not accepting asylum seekers anymore.
Well, we should have never been. But again, when people come over, they do it the way we're supposed to do it. You file out the paperwork, you wait,
were seeking
you
asylum
stay
at
in
one point when they got here.
Yeah, they all came in through Ellis Island. They didn't just walk in, go through Ellis Island, and we'll call you back when your numbers
coming through ports of entry. That's a bad point. All right,
but they're being allowed through and then just wandering freely while, again, it's like going to get fucking, meated at the deli. And they're like, all right, here's your number, but come on back and walk around by the meat while you wait. It's like, no. You wait on the other side of the counter until your fucking number's up, and you go.
I don't disagree with that. They need to change the law. Dozens of things.
Right. Well, that's what it is, and that's the core.
But they haven't changed it, so you can't pretend like they've done something illegal if you haven't changed the law. And even after you change the law, they did it before the law was changed, so they're still legal. You just need to get them their asylum hearings, and to do that, you need more asylum judges, and to do that, you need more funding. But you're not going to get more funding because the funding is being held back for more tax cuts for the rich. All right, Autumn says dozens of things his administration has done that would have sent others to prison. Yeah, imagine if Obama or Biden had done half the things he's done. That Fox fool Jesse compared this to accidentally adding your grandma to a chat. Yes, I saw it. Jesse Waters is a crackhead. You heard that from me. He can sue me for defamation. I ain't got no money. Indiana's getting a
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
You
Sorry.
have to say allegedly, or in a video game.
In GTA 6, he's a crackhead. Indiana's getting a Honda factory. I might pack up and become your neighbor. I didn't hear about this. They're building a new Meta headquarters close to where I live, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of jobs there. I think it's all administrators, maybe. He was here legally. He had papers. Yeah, he was an asylum seeker. Woody and Autumn are 100% correct, and that's not against the law, no matter what they say. They shipped out a couple in California that have been here for 35. I saw one lady who has been here for 50 years. But yeah, a couple that's been here for 35 years got shipped out. They didn't go through the proper paperwork, and now they have to leave their 3 American-born daughters in California and go back to Colombia. Some of that stuff's wild, and it don't seem like it's right to me, but I mean...
Take their kids with them. I mean, that's what they've been saying the whole time. Don't want to leave your kids? Well, take them with them. You know?
35 years, though.
Fuck around, find out. You're gonna scramble a couple eggs, make it an omelet. We'll see how it all pans out, but what the people voted for, and I personally don't think it's going good.
Well, but you have to have due process. Do you not think that we have to have due process for these people?
To a certain extent, yeah. But if it comes to what we know about the gang shit, nah, just get them out. Get them out and let them come back in easier, but don't just let them potentially be a problem. And that's just my take.
What he says, we can't tell people the rules to enter the country, then change the rules. He's not even from El Salvador, and they sent him to a hardcore prison. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's just cruel. And if it was white people, if it was white immigrants, he wouldn't be doing it. That's a fact. Autumn says, that is the point we are making. You can't just pick up people and get rid of them if you allowed them here legally. Yes, they went through the process they were told to go through. They don't know. They're not watching Twitter every day. They don't even speak English. You think they know what's going on in American politics? All they know is that the Statue of Liberty says, give me your weak, your poor, and your weary. And that's them. They came because they were allowed to, exactly. They don't wander freely. They were given a court date. Yes, and most of them all
they're still wandering freely. They can go anywhere the fuck they want in the country. Like, the fuck?
Well, they should fix it. I mean, do something. Change it.
Yeah, like it used to be. Stay in the fucking country, file your paperwork. When you get the approval, you come in. Listen, I watch 90 Day Fiancé every week. And that's how they do it. You know what I'm saying? They got to go through. They have the fights, and they got to tell the families, and blah, 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 blah. And they get approved. You know what I'm saying? It's a stressful, long, expensive process, Some people don't want to do it, so they cut corners.
Oh, most don't like that, Autumn.
And they come in.
Autumn says they need to ship Alon out. He lied in the application, never finished college. Yeah, he was actually here illegal, too. So was,
we love Elon.
Melania.
No Elon slander. Elon's going to save this fucking planet. You just wait.
Elon is like one of the worst people that I've ever met. Or I've not met, but I've
Good, I hope he hears that when he's fucking getting us all off the planet. And you're like, Elon, come on.
How would we need to leave the planet? Because he destroyed it?
Because he destroyed it.
Why are we going to Mars? Rob T says, oh, thank you, Rob. Give me your...
Apparently, we've already been to Mars, so we're just going back.
He's going back. Give me your tired...
That's something else we need to actually kind of dive into.
That we came from Mars? That actually...
Well, not even that, but some of the fucking Buzz interviews and stuff.
Yes.
They were talking about... he misspoke, but apparently he did it like 2 or 3 times. And so if he misspoke the same way 2 or 3 times, it's kind of weird. But they were saying like they actually already stepped foot on Mars.
Yeah, so. I was using one of those quotes when we were talking about the moon. There's a really weird moon on Mars that's like hollow, that's shaped like a potato. So yeah, there's...
Yeah, weren't we talking about that? I could have sworn we talked about that a little bit.
About that, yeah.
But my rabbit hole led me down some more of that shit, and I was like, oh shit, wait a second.
Your rabbit hole is going to lead you back to one of our episodes.
Probably. Have you watched Tales from the Crypto?
He's given us the quote for the Statue of Liberty. I had it wrong. It's, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homies, the homeless, sorry.
The homies.
Send the homies to New York. Toast to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. I think Francis said something about how they want to take the Statue of Liberty back because we are no longer heeding its words. 49%. It's what 49% of the voters voted for. That's true.
Let them come get the fucking Statue of Liberty. That'd be funny to watch. And then let people still continue to be like, yeah, they just built the pyramids by hand.
True. Dane K says, Walt, please make VV great again. Did the hat end up in the Gulf of America? I should have took it with me. No. I mean, I need it every once in a while. It comes out as a good punchline. Who knows when I'm going to need it. So I just
You
keep
didn't wear your fucking Trump hat when you went to Florida?
hell no.
Oh man.
They would have adopted me. Florida for Liberty.
I'm saying, bro,
Floridians
you
would have
never
liked
came
it.
back.
They would have liked that. I saw a lot of Trump signs while I was there. All right, Woody. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you, bro. Optim says the launch rockets can barely make it off Florida every other time. I think like half of his rockets have blown up now.
Blah blah blah. Ain't nobody else knew what he's doing. Keep on yapping.
Appreciate you, Viper. Have a good night, my man. I heard you were the one who got on the White House Signal app today. Oh, did somebody get on it today? See, they're already hacking it.
That was
Bro,
you, Walt? I knew it.
It wasn't me. My hacking days are over. I was a hacker in AOL days. Those days are gone.
The government's listening. I had nothing to do with it.
There's a ton going on in politics, but I think those are the two really big stories that I've been paying attention to. I've tried not to pay too much attention to politics while I was on vacation, so I haven't seen everything that's happening. I'm sure there's plenty more. Shout out to Big A's in the building. Says IRL called, showed up late, but here. Oh, you got stuff to do in IRL? Well, it must be nice. Me and the rest of us, we got no real lives at all. We just hang out here in the
True
world
story.
of the internet. All right, Mo. There was a particular game
Chronically online.
you had mentioned to me that you wanted to talk about today. It was called My Pet Hooligan. I'm gonna pull up the trailer and let me try to mute it so it's not. Okay, it's only a minute long. So this is one that's gonna be on platforms now. What's going on with this?
Yeah, so the game itself has been on, was it on, I don't know if it was on Steam or Epic Game Store, maybe. I think it was on Epic Game Store. But yeah, it's called My Pet Hooligan. It's like a multiplayer shooter, but it's got some puzzle elements. It's kind of cool. I messed around a little bit on PC. I don't know if it's out on console yet or if it's coming out on console. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's just another Web3 game that's going to be hitting consoles, and you know, people might be, again, we talked about it, right? The Trojan horse.
Yep.
It's just going to be another one of them where people are like, oh wow, wait, I could just link a wallet and now I can make money, and they don't even realize that they're fucking with NFTs that they've been cursing, you know, for the past 5 years.
Right. Yeah. That's
They
the best
show
way
up
to
at
do
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they show up at work and they're like telling people about it, and they're like, "I gotta play this game, bro. I made like $100 over the weekend." And I'm like, "Oh, you're collecting NFTs now?" And I'm like, no.
They're onboarding people and they don't even know it. I mean, unlike other Web3 games, this looks like a AAA game. It looks really well made. Looks like the controls are probably pretty smooth. Looks like more like a kid game, though. I don't know if you're going to be able to get crypto people playing it, but I could be wrong. I'm not a big gamer.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Gamers will play good games.
Yeah.
I mean, Fortnite proved that. Roblox proved it. Minecraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm fucking 43. Yeah, I'm not really against an occasional Minecraft run. You know, it's kind of a fun game. You can just build, you can dig, you can, you know, whatever. But go find the Ender Dragon, what the fuck it's called. But I don't know. To me, I think a game like this, yeah, it's not, you know, Call of Duty, but I think people will be interested.
Yeah,
Check
absolutely.
it out.
Especially if it's like free to play and you can earn money from it. Absolutely, people will play this for sure. TK says Germany is re-armoring. Boom, boom, boogie. Yeah, a lot of people in Europe are armoring because they're afraid of what's going on in the world right now. Ireland called. Right. Yeah, that's My Pet Hooligan, you guys. Do you know what blockchain it's on?
Is it Arbitorum? What the fuck is it called? Arboretum? Something like that.
Arbitrum
Somewhat.
or Arbitrum. I think I've heard of it.
Pretty sure it's what's on. I could be wrong though.
I'm pulling it up.
I've looked
right
up
now.
so
This
many
is-
fucking games.
This is their Twitter account right here. Free to play. Early access game is out now. So there you go. Check it out. My Pet Hooligan. Looks like a pretty good game, and apparently it's going to be on console. So kind of like Off the Grid. Might be a smart game to get into early. Could end up blowing up. You never know.
Yeah, now unlike Off the Grid though, look at the comments on this trailer. Yeah, it could be another game that, you know, servers shut down in 5 months. Because Off the Grid will probably be the one, like the game that, you know, puts Web3 gaming on the map and probably survives. Because the rest of these games, you know, they look fun, but like you said, like who the hell is really going to play them? You start playing Off the Grid, you're like, damn, this is a pretty polished game, and the more they add to it, especially when it's like the single player type stuff that they talk about doing, kind of like the Division,
Right.
where you can go in and do like a mission, instead of just like a battle royale.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Campaigns.
yeah, campaign type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So once they start doing that, I think it'll have more people come in for longevity. But yeah, man. Either way, I think any Web3 games that just come out and hit console and just get in front of more people, the better.
Yeah, console's big for Web3, and it's good to see that Web3 is still building games and AAA games. What's up, Jay? Good to see you, my man. People loved Alana a couple months ago. I mean, I want to say a couple months ago, maybe like 6 months to a year ago. That's whenever the media was convincing us that he was a genius and he was the one who created Tesla and SpaceX. But then we found out that he's just a con man and he actually just bought all those companies. All right.
He bought them when he bought them and compared to now, they're way more efficient now, doing better things now. But again, debatable perhaps, but we do love it. The only other thing in Web3 gaming I actually want to talk about, the fishing game that I was talking about a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Actually launched. Everybody can play, free to play.
I'm trying to remember what it was called. It had a catchy name.
Fishing Frenzy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Fishing Frenzy, you can actually play now. It's fishingfrenzy.co. Actually, if you guys do play, you should probably use my damn code. But you can play now for free. You don't need NFTs or nothing. As a matter of fact, the money I spent on a pass, I think I wasted money on it because they didn't give me anything for it.
Oh no!
I don't have any special access. I didn't get any special gifts.
What?
It'll
be a collector's item, maybe.
Perhaps. So I was like, you know what? I spent. First of all, I used free casino money because I hit for like the max win on that slot. So I took that money and bought the pass. I think I spent like $4.90.
Nice.
And I turned around. I was like, well, I didn't get anything for it. It's like they were dropping in price. I was like, I'll take $3.90 for it.
Ronnie Lido wants your code so he can sign up.
Yeah, I don't know the best way to do it. I could probably just pop it in chat maybe, but
Dan K says, where's Tucson? I don't know. Haven't seen Tucson. Maybe he'll be back for the drop stream. If we do a drop stream this week, I don't know. I have to set it all up again. They're hating on Elon while tweeting from their Teslas. I don't know. A lot of the liberals are trading their Teslas in, getting something else. Big A says, I have a large bag of the Carrot token that the coin related to Hooligan. Oh, okay. Carrot is the coin that's related to Hooligan. I saw them posting about Carrot on their Twitter. You got a bag full of carrots. Sounds like a party. Drop code so I can sign up. Yeah, Hooligan. What's up, Crazy Dan? Good to see you. My man says the pyramids have 2 kilometer pillars and a huge basement area under them. Yeah, that was the first thing we talked about today, Crazy Dan, because it is crazy. And Mo's convinced that it's real. I feel like he's more skeptical than me. I usually believe this stuff. It just seems a little too hard to believe for me. I'm not convinced yet. I need to see some proof. The scan is not enough proof for me. How come other scans haven't picked that stuff up?
They've never done them.
Okay.
They've never done them. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole group behind the Egyptian, archaeology, whatever, the whole department.
Yeah.
This Wally Haley guy, his name is.
Yeah.
Like, they don't allow anybody to go in there unless they're on their dime. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we talked about the ground penetrating radar, right? They use it over here at Wardenclyffe. That was just a few years ago, right? Like, this is new technology that they're just starting to use. So if they don't let you on the site to use it, that's why we haven't seen it before. But this is a satellite penetrating technology. So you don't even have to get permission because it's a fucking satellite up in the sky.
Yeah, Ronnie Lido is agreeing with you. Brand new satellites.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? So if that's like, oh, well, we never heard about it before. Why? Again, there's 2 reasons to it. 1, we didn't have the technology. 2, they don't allow us over there. But now it's like, well, okay, cool. So now we see the X-ray, and every other test that they've run, and I've looked into some of these, that they've run these tests on, have all come 100% true to what the scan was. It's not like, oh, they're like 95% accurate. No. Whatever these things are scanning and they're digging up little test, areas, they're 100%. So why would this be any different? And that's what the archaeologists that are paid to tell you will be like, well, there's a chance that the machine could be wrong. Yeah, sure. Okay. Anyway, I know we already got through the topic, but
No,
I just
it's,
wanted to
it's still
reiterate that.
blowing my mind because you're convincing me that it's real, and if it's real, that has all kinds of other implications. Because who in the world could have possibly done that at that point in time? Because it was so long ago. It's
But
just,
that's what I'm saying. And listen, I talk about this shit with more people than ever before because I've been putting people down rabbit holes, and now they're hitting me up, and they're like, "Dude, you know what? Maybe there is something to it." It was 20 years ago we'd had these conversations, right?
right.
And people would be like, "All right, crazy. All right, put your tinfoil hat on." But now, again, with information being so fucking at our fingertips, technology fucking advancing, now when these things are coming to discovery, we're like, huh, well, if that's true, then what about everything else that we learned that was also told to be false? Okay, so we were hunter gatherers. No, we were actually some crazy advanced civilization that actually were able to share information across massive fucking areas across the globe.
Using
It
pyramids and obelisks because everywhere across the globe, these
yeah.
civilizations that had no contact both created pyramids and obelisks, and those are
Pyramids,
yeah.
obelisks, created out of the similar materials, which is normally one's a conductor, one's an insulator. You also have similar origin stories, again, of like people showing up. The feathery serpent was a coloss. I always fucking name up. Um, the Mayan. Oh my god,
I know
you know
who
what I'm
you're
talking
talking
about,
about,
right?
but I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't remember exactly
Yeah, I
how to
always
say
fuck
it.
it up, but
Yeah.
you know, but his story is the same story against other civilizations. So how would they be so similar across vast areas? And then again, the way it all ended was very similar too. Even when you go into the Bible, when you start going into like different passages from the Bible, with was it Ezekiel, right? From like the Old Testament, like stories in there are
Where he talks
actually
about the
very
flying vehicles,
yeah.
yeah, that are made out of like gears or something.
Yeah, which is actually could be a whole other topic for us, which is what the
Yeah,
Vimana,
yeah,
right? Which is like the Indian flying
Vamana or something. Yeah,
Vimana. Yeah, I actually have a horse named Vimana. Um, but like, you understand what I'm saying, though? Like the fact that we're looking at these, columns and structure, we're like, okay, but then you really have to think about the implication beyond that. Because beyond that, dude, we could be looking at, again, rediscovering everything we know
yeah. That
about where
changes
we came
history.
from.
That changes
Yeah.
history. And it seems like it's such an important topic that they have to give us permission to go research it and dig. And if they don't, then I mean, maybe this is the right time to have Trump as president. If we can convince Trump that we need to know what's underneath there, he'll bully his way in there and do it himself.
Oh, he's like, yo, I'll make Egypt the 51st state.
Exactly.
We're going to go in, make the pyramids great again.
Exactly. I can see that happening. All right, our
It's
next
going to be
topic
huge.
tonight, our fourth topic that we usually talk about on Tuesdays is crypto. As Mo was mentioning, me and him haven't really been paying much attention to crypto lately. It's been down for a long time since Trump got into office. All this bullish news is happening. All these, the mainstream is getting comfortable. The government is getting comfortable with crypto. It seems like all good news for crypto, as we mention every week. But every week, crypto continues to go down. So I don't know if it's some type of institutional market manipulation done on purpose so people can load their bags before it takes off. I don't know right now. But Bitcoin is below 88K. ETH is back down to 2K. So's at 142. I know it went down to 120, and then it went back up
Gold
to like
actually was
160 or
pumping.
170. OMI, everybody's favorite token, is at
Uh-huh.
00026. And Brett is another one that I keep track of. It's been sitting around 3 cents for the last week, so it hasn't moved much. Mo,
And
what do you
crowns
think's-
at 8 cents.
and Crown's at 8 cents. Ooh, Crown's way down. What do you think's going on with
Yeah.
crypto, man? What's your play right now? If you were getting into crypto, is it time to wait on the sidelines, or do you think stuff's about to blow up, or is it going to keep going down?
Yeah, I'm not getting into crypto right now. If I'm not into crypto, stay the fuck out. If you are in crypto, sit tight. I mean, it's a couple different things. I think there's definitely some manipulation, like you were saying. I definitely think there's some people that are making money that want to make more money. But yeah, institutions probably a little bit of an issue. I think obviously world events, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff with Trump and the tariffs and whatever. But even a lot of those tariffs now are starting to be, oh, they're getting walked back. They're not going to be as bad, which is why I think we're seeing a little bit of relief across all markets. But yeah, I mean, what's it going to take? Is it going to take the U.S., you know what I mean? Like putting some Bitcoin in the stockpile? Probably not. Because I mean, the world isn't just the U.S.
Right.
You know, uh, my personal opinion is I think some of these things just ran too hot, too fast, and I think Big A, usually one of the first people to yell at me about it in my own chat, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna get that pullback, Mo. It's gonna be the retrace." You know what I mean? And it's obviously it's true. You know, what goes up must come down. You know, every now and then.
If so,
But
that was a pretty weak bull run.
well, why? Because I mean, world issues. I mean, listen,
Uncertainty, and I never really believed in the whole 4-year cycle thing anyway, because you never know what's going to happen when it comes to like politics and it comes to wills making big moves and institutions getting into it, ETFs being filed. So I'm not a big believer in the whole cycle thing anyway. So maybe it was just a really small bull run, but maybe there's another bull run coming. I don't know.
there's going to be another run, 100%. But like you just said, if everybody knows that the cycle is the cycle, then everyone's ahead of the cycle, right?
Yep.
The same way that pump fun was great and everybody made money, but once everybody figured out the fucking mechanics and the algorithm, well, boom, you got in, got out, and then that failed, right? And that's why rug pull after an hour, rug pull after 45 minutes, rug pull, and it got down where it was like a minute candle and everybody was rugging.
Yep.
You know, you had to stay ahead of the game. No different here. And I think you're absolutely right. I think everybody expected the cycle. But now, when sidelines come in, you know, mainstream comes in, everybody buys, retail comes buying. If you're in now, you're in now, you know? And as utility starts to form and other chains like Avalanche, I think Avalanche is still going to be one of the biggest plays. I mean, Bitcoin's going to be the digital gold. I think Avalanche will probably have the most utility when it comes to like insurance companies, DMVs, and like agency type stuff.
Right.
And I think Solana, and then probably like Ronin and Base will probably be the big players for gaming.
Nice.
You know, but those are going to be narratives that push the value, right? Right now, it's everybody just sitting around waiting for value. But the intrinsic value, and I think the value is going to come when, you know, off the grid pops off and PFL hits casinos and, you know, maybe with Bitcoin, we have to add it to the reserve and has to start to suck up the supply, right? Like everything's going to have its own different, you know, reasoning. But am I wrong? Am I crazy? Like that's just.
No, it sounds right. I think it's really unpredictable right now. And the uncertainty, of course, is hurting the markets. But it's unpredictable in the way that you never know. Trump might do something to pump the Trump coin or the Melania coin really, really high. And that set off a whole new bull run. They kind of have all the powers in their hands right now, and they've already got their bags packed. So I think they're going to always be looking to pump the markets, and at some point they're going to do something major that's really going to start another bull run. So I think you're right that there will be another bull run, but that little bull run was not much to write home about. Shout out to Bruin88's in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're talking a little bit crypto now.
I think the cat's out of the bag, personally, though.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think you could really even, no matter what you do, no manipulation would pump the Trump and Melania coin ever again.
I mean, all he did was tweet about it the other day, and it went up quite a bit.
What, 10%?
I thought it went up more than that, but then again, they might have zoomed in. I just saw a chart.
I don't think it went up more than 10%. I mean, no,
But what if he says everybody who has 100 or more Trump coins gets to vote twice? I wouldn't not.
I'm looking at it right here. Yeah, it went up. 12% roughly, and then right back down. You know, but listen, you can pump it 10%. That's fine. But I'm just saying, like, everybody saw what happened with the Trump coin. Where you have all these crypto Twitters, and they're so good with the detective and the bubble wallets and everything, right? Like, it's so easy to expose this shit. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't really think, no matter what anybody did, they'd pump those coins. It's going to be something new. It's going to be the next big wave. It's going to be the next big narrative. It's probably going to be the gun token. That's going to be, we're going to be talking about the gun token very, very soon. Just wait.
True. I need to get into that. Yeah, that's the token for the off-the-grid game. Dan K says 4 free signed baseballs on Kenny right now. 4 free signed baseballs. Okay, I need to get in on that. And a $50 drop tomorrow with only 99 editions. Apparently, this is on MLB. I don't have any MLB collectibles. Well, I might have a couple free ones, but I haven't bought anything on Candy's MLB site. I haven't bought anything on the DC site for a while either. Ronnie Lido says it's all a simulation. Sounds accurate. It's always safe if you don't watch the news. Big A's watching. Daniel C says, I've heard the U.S. cops and Border Patrol are acting hard on visiting Canadians. Not just Canadians, but yeah, I think, I can't remember where the lady's from. Someplace in the Middle East, but she's like some big time surgeon here in America, and she's an American citizen, a green card holder, and she went back for a funeral. And when she came back to America to her home, they like arrested her and like strip searched her and like handcuffed her, threw her in prison, and sent her back. It's crazy, bro. And she's like got a green card and she's like a top surgeon. Ronnie Lido says, what goes up must come back down. Get knocked down, you get back up again.
Chumbawamba.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
Glass half full, half empty predicament.
Oh,
accurate. Hope you guys are packing your bags. It's going to be like an erupting volcano, and we'll never see these prices again. I mean, it sounds legit. I believe it.
What?
But then again, it could also go the other direction.
Erupting volcano? You mean like the world's on fire? Like, who the fuck? No one's out here spending money when the world's on fire.
If Trump attacks Iran, I mean, or China, everything's going to dump. Period.
Yeah.
And Trump's crazy.
Yeah, that he's out there. Yeah. That's my president. But yeah, I mean, we gotta solve the Ukraine shit. Get Russia and get China, get Iran. Get the fucking peace over there with the Middle East, and yeah, then we'll see everything go. Because again, I think because that was the case. Regular markets would be prospering and crypto would be tanking, but that's not the case. So.
Yeah, I think we're far away from like world peace or getting all of these skirmishes taken care of right now. Trump said it was all going to be taken care of on day one, but we're deep into it. We're a couple months in, and neither one of them have been taken care of yet. So,
well, we're way further along, and he has been putting the wheels in motion. But yeah, I mean, as far as like, if anybody thought he was just going to walk in, put his foot down in other countries,
brother, he literally said that. He said it would be taken care of before he took his oath.
He got the wheels in motion.
He was just kidding, y'all. Shout out to Grandma Moore's in the chat. Good to see you, Grandma.
He's got the wheels in motion. He got them talking.
Oh, brother. He's got a concept. Which, by the way, he's got the concept of a plan, right?
Well, I mean, I think he's got more than the concept.
Oh, that's what he said during the debate when it came to healthcare. He had a concept of a plan.
It's more than a concept, though. I mean, he's actually been talking. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the minerals right now. Like I said, with my dental shit, the only thing I care about is getting through April 3rd.
I hear you, and I've been on vacation, so I have not been paying much attention to what's going on.
I mean, shit. Like I said, when I am home, I'm just fucking laying here, fucking stoned out of my mind. Think I really care about that shit half the time? No, I don't. What I do care about is figuring out how old these fucking pyramids are.
I want to figure that out, too. I'm actually going to deep dive into that a little bit more tonight. We got Turtle in the chat. And OG VV Head, shout out to Turtle. I'm glad he mentioned this because this is what I wanted to talk about next in the crypto topic, and it's about VV's affiliate marketing program. It's been almost 4 years since they teased to us that they were working on an affiliate program. I think it was like 2 years ago when they hired a special person just to be in charge of the affiliate program. So we knew it was coming any day now. For the last 3.5, almost 4 years, they finally dropped it on us, and I won't even give my opinion yet until Mo does. What do you think, Mo? Did you see the affiliate program, and what do you think about it?
I'm going to put it the same way I did with the PFL affiliate program. It's like, for PFL at least, all the people I recruited and all the work I did meant nothing. Everything I did from that day forward was being, rewarded. So I'm like, well, what about all the shit I've done for you in the past? Like, nothing was ever retroactively added. I don't know what it's really like with VV, but it seems like people can get a few bucks just for signing up, right? And then, like...
Not really. I mean, well, it's the same problem with PFL as you just mentioned. Of course, I kind of expected that anyway. Nobody's going to get rewarded for their past contributions, but I kind of felt like the affiliate program would at least focus on or reward the VV content creators, the people who have been doing VV content for the last 3 or 4 years, or even the noobs have been doing it for the last year or two. But this affiliate program doesn't seem to help them at all because it's for getting new users to sign up. And who is watching a VV content creator who's not already on VV. That doesn't make any sense unless maybe they put out a good video that attracts some new eyes. But even that's hard to do, especially with the algorithm right now. And the way it's set up, if I was to sign up for it and get myself a link, and I would sit here and try to advertise it every day. The first 4 people, if only 4 people sign up for me for that month, I would get $0. You got to get to 5 signups before you even start earning $10 per signup. When's the last time 5 new people signed up to VV? That probably hasn't happened in a full month in years. So the idea that a content creator for VV is going to be able to get more than 5 signups in a month just seems pretty crazy to me. I don't think it's going to happen. So I think it's maybe focused more for people who run Facebook groups for collectors like Marvel comic book collectors, but even then they wouldn't qualify for it unless they have a certain amount of users that VV requires. So I guess it's just for people like Logan Paul and Mr. Beast. If they put out a video and told people to sign up for VV and use that link, they'd make a ton of money. However, who's going to talk them into doing it? They're not going to do that. So I really don't understand who it's for or who it helps. Maybe somebody in the chat can explain it to me, but it seems like a whole lot of nothing, in my opinion. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just a VV hater, but it didn't make any sense to me at all. Denny OC says, anyone know how I can get a green card real quick? Canada has done lost their mind. Don't worry, bro. You're going to be
$5 million.
You're going to be part of America soon. You're going to be the 51st.
You can buy the gold card, bro. $5 million.
I've had that marked too in my bookmarks. So it's 1,000 people now, I think, have paid.
Other countries do that, by the way.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Pay $5 million and you get to be a citizen.
I don't know the price of other countries, but yeah, you can actually buy citizenship in
So
other
if
countries.
you're a criminal, it don't matter. If you're a Russian
No,
oligarch,
it doesn't matter if you're. There's still background checks and stuff like that, but it's more for businesses.
is there really background checks?
I'm just saying, from the way they're portraying it, is that it's more for like businesses and stuff. Which I think, I could be mistaken. Is that how Honda's doing their shit in was it Indiana, right? They're doing their plant.
This is my first time hearing about it. I don't watch local news. I didn't know.
Well, yeah, well, Honda's building a plant here, bro, which is crazy. That's
Hopefully
awesome.
It's around my area. Crazy Dan says, I'm Canadian and I still think Trump is doing a great job fixing the USA despite the tariffs. Every country needs a Doge audit. Oh my goodness.
Listen, people are audited, businesses are audited. Why?
Nothing wrong with auditing. Yeah, if you find some type of fraud, then point it out. But they have found 0 fraud yet. So all they finding are things that
definitely even more than 0, but
they found 0 fraud. 0 people have been indicted. 0 fraud has been pointed out or proven. So I think that's
tons of people have stepped down. People are hiding. Again, the Endeavor thing was just one of the many stories I told you about, and that exposed what 600 million from one company alone in an NGO. I mean, listen, they're out there. We can't deny they're out there.
For? NGO just means non-government organization. We're NGOs. This is an NGO. That doesn't mean anything.
I don't know, because when the money comes from government, then you have to worry about, because that's our money. That's our money that's going there. That's our money. So again, if our money is being put into dummy fucking shell corporations that even admitted it, and again, people were stepping down saying, well, listen, nothing changed at Endeavor, but yet the funding went from 50 million to 650 million, and nothing changed. It was still a shell building being used in case they needed it for bedding and housing and stuff like that, which again was in Texas near immigration. You can dive down that rabbit hole. But the point is that they have uncovered it. People have stepped down. Will people be indicted? Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Who stepped down? I haven't seen anybody step down. I haven't seen any of this. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't believe it.
Again, it's just I gave you the Endeavor stuff, bro. The Endeavor is the tip of the iceberg.
Or anything. Send a link right now. I can pull it up on the stream. Endeavor. I can look it up. Endeavor. But
look it up. Endeavor NGO 650 million. And that's from the company themselves that admitted the fucking money. And again, it's just waste. It's just tracking down waste and getting rid of it. And again, people will be indicted. People will step down. We'll see. I thought we're at this fucking topic, but yeah, as far as crypto goes, I don't know what the fuck we could do to save this market, but
yeah, I don't see nothing about it. I don't know, man. I don't trust anything that Elon Musk says. All the stuff they
not from Elon, dude. It's from Texas fucking news themselves.
It's not. It's not technically from Elon because according to court documents, he's not the head of Doge. But whenever they just had the State of the Union address, Donald Trump announced him as, or introduced him as the leader of Doge. So they're telling the courts that he's not the head of Doge, that some other lady is, but in public he's calling himself the head of Doge every day. So it's some really shady stuff going on right there. I mean, there's no reason to hide that.
His brainchild. He had the idea, he came up with it, he offered it, and here we go.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you, bro. Everybody can be an affiliate. All you have to do is have a certain amount of followers. So I don't really think it's
What's
a
the
big
fucking
deal.
point, though?
It's not. There's no point. That's the point. There's no point to it. That's what I'm saying. Unless you guys can convince me that there is a point to the affiliate program, I don't see what the point is.
Well, like you said, because you have to put 5 people to even get paid, right? So your best bet is like, okay, tell 5 people, don't sign up until we get 5 people.
Right.
Like if you're 4 people, don't sign up. You know what I mean? But let's wait till we get the 5th. It's like a cult mentality.
Or
And then we all
wait till the next month until you can carry over so you can get 5 so you can actually get paid. It makes no sense. Shout out to Denny OC. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you, bro. Jay says I was going to bat for you on Informant stream the other day. Don't be talking about me on the Informant stream. That dude is a clown. Dan K says my buddy just got his green card. They checked him and his wife for syphilis. Well, that's probably good. We don't want no syphilis coming into our country. Keep that over there.
Turn your head and cough.
It's all in Vigal. I don't know what that means. Oh, is that the name of the place? In Vigal? I don't know what that is. All government entities need Doge, state, county, and city offices. It's literally the opposite of efficiency is to do something that is even more inefficient by spending time going through all this stuff and claiming that all this fraud is happening when nothing's happening. I mean, if you don't like what it's being done, then you change who you vote for and who's representing you. It's the representatives who decided to spend this money in this way. It's called soft power. If you don't like it, vote for somebody else. Too bad the affiliate program wasn't retroactive because I would be rich. That's what I'm saying. At some point, I was bringing in a lot of new users because I had like 1,000 people watching my live stream, so it bumped me up in the YouTube live searches, and people were finding it that way. But
that's how I found you.
Is that how you found me? There you go.
Yeah, when I first got into VV, I told you I found the first video I watched was Cavell, and I'm like, oh my god.
Me too, actually.
I'm like, this cannot be the face of VV. And then I got to you. And I was like, "Oh shit, I like this Southern guy." I'm like, "Let me tune into this." And then I was
Southern?
watching, huh?
Did you say Southern?
Yeah, because you were like, all right, welcome y'all. Come on into the live stream, everybody. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, this guy's cool. He's got the twang. I'm fucking tune in.
Let's go.
But it wasn't a live stream though. I think at that point it was like one of your tip videos.
Right.
It's probably on like how to change the clock time or something. It was probably Clockgate or one of those.
Yes.
And then from there, I was like, okay. Because again, remember, I'm a Twitch guy. I was never really a YouTube watcher, so it just got engraved in my brain. I'm like, okay, cool. Drop day, half hour before the drop, or 45 minutes, whatever.
Yep.
Tune into Vault, and that's pretty much how I got locked in. But never really watched anybody else. It was Cavell, and then you, and obviously there was other people that popped up along the way that I tune in, tune out type of shit. But
yeah, and I always tried to show other content creators during my live streams so people like you could discover them. Maybe find somebody else that you relate to better, get your info from. We miss those days. Mike Benz is the key to all this stuff for years now. Mike Benz. I don't know that guy. Elon Musk reported at today's cabinet meeting that children under the age of 11 have collectively taken out small businesses. Yes, I know. And babies have taken out SBA loans too. And who do you think did that? Some Democrats? No, it was some Republican dude ripping off the country like usual. I mean, show me who did it. Let's go look up that person. If somebody broke the law, nobody is against arresting that person.
we all know it was a Democratic shadow organization, Vault. We all know this by now. Stop saying Republicans.
One of these Republicans. And another thing that's going on with Republicans is crazy how many of them are being arrested for pedophilia right now. It's like one after another, and they're the ones that are the same people that are always talking about how the Democrats are all pedophiles, but then they all get arrested for. It's like projection.
I think there's disgusting people on both sides. Because last time I checked, I don't know if fucking P. Diddy was a Republican or not. Probably not. But yeah, I mean, it's just some fucking disgusting people on both sides. Let's not discuss that again. We covered that a few weeks ago. My stomach wanted to fucking vomit then, still does.
DK says the point is for them to just recognize you and have to say your name and thank you on one of these videos. Imagine hearing MC thank Vault for his hard work. I was the first person to ever be a guest on MC's channel. He said he saved it just for me because he used to watch my channel all the time. He wanted me to be his first guest. And same thing.
Everybody watched your fucking channel, dude.
Back in the day. I don't know.
Oh, they still watch.
Persuade to do some. Oh, he's giving me a definition. Invigly. How do you pronounce it though? Persuade someone to do something by means of deception or flattery, like in slot machines. Okay, I understood the definition, but then you said like in slot machines. How do you? I guess that's the deception. to make you think that you won on a slot machine. Rob T, isn't Vault a Midwesterner? Yes. Indiana. Indiana boy, go Pacers.
Well, you're south from me, okay?
I'm
Everything's
Southern
fucking...
Indiana.
Everything's southern to fucking us.
I got that Midwestern accent. Ronnie Lido says they give you 10 cents back on a 20-cent bet to make you feel like you won. It invokes the same brain responses. Yep. Ronnie Lido knows. He is giving us the alpha on that. Democrats, Republicans. All right. Colonel Moore says they're all in cahoots together. It truly does not matter what party you are associated with. When it comes to the people that are in Washington, D.C., maybe with the exception of Trump and his cabinet, but to the detriment. It's not a good thing. But the rest of them are part of the establishment. The Republicans and the Democrats are all trying to keep the status quo so that they can keep getting the money that they get every year, every day from lobbyists. So they don't want change. They're against change. Whew. All right, Mo, what you got going on this week?
Fucking warning sign.
You got anything special happening this week over there on your channel?
Oh, no. It's been rough, man. Like I said, I've been getting poked and prodded like a fucking cow in an alien spaceship. All the dentist shit, but April 3rd, man, just kind of revving up. It's going to be a fun day.
Is that Derby Day or something?
No, I got my surgery.
Oh, that's for surgery day. My bad.
Yeah, so. But other than that, dude, just hanging out, trying to get back into some gaming. I've been spinning slots. I've signed up for a new site that's partnered with PFL. I'll give you this fucking story real quick.
Oh, yeah?
So I signed up, and they were like, all right, deposit $20 for 5 days in a row, and they'll give you 100 free spins on one game. And it was like a $40 spin, so it was like a $40, a day. Okay, cool. So I deposited my 20. Every day, bro, I turned that extra money into like 60 one day, 80, 90 on another, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get to the end of the 5 days. Okay, cool. Bro, my account's up to like $1,000. So I go, let me withdraw. I always withdraw from the slots. Go to withdraw some money. I took out 600, right? Should have left 400 in there.
Mm-hmm.
Go check my account, bro. I'm at like 158 bucks. Those cocksuckers went in and took all my bonus winnings because I withdrew.
Oh, really? They could do that?
Apparently, there was some fine print that was like, if you withdraw your initial deposit money, you forfeit all bonus money. Now, real time, if you read that while you're depositing, you're like, okay, well, that just means if I withdraw, I can no longer get the free spins for the rest of my 5 days, right?
Right.
Even on stream, we were looking at it, and that's what it kind of looked like. No. They could retroactively go back and take the money that you won. In the other... Dude, I was fucking blown away.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
We were having a really good week gambling, and it turned into like a... we're still up. We're still up money, but that's about it, bro. Just kind of sitting around.
That's crazy.
I guess we can kind of go into what you're watching type of deal.
Oh, yeah,
I've been watching that dude sail from New York to Miami. He's been on the water for 5 days, and he's only gone, I think, 2 miles.
Wow.
And it was kind of funny. He got washed on the shore because he got scared at night, and the Coast Guard must have called the dock that he pulled into for emergency.
Yeah.
So the owner of the marina place, calls this kid on the stream. He's like, bro, he gave him like the bathroom code, like told him like, you just make sure you're safe, blah 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 blah. So whatever. 2 days, he's like docked up at this guy's fucking marina. They're fixing up his boat, fixing the lights. He's back on the water for 3 days. Goes and hits the marina, takes an Uber. He's like a celebrity. He's like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, wow, word's really getting around. Anyway, turns out the guy didn't go more than 5 miles down the road. The only reason why everybody knew who he was because the guy, Jeff or whatever, that was helping him out, must have told everybody else at the other marinas. So, bro, this kid thinks he's been traveling for like 3 days and he must be like 2 states away. But turns out he's only 5 miles, dude, from the other guy. Bro, this is why I love IRL content. Like, TV to me is just boring. Like, oh my God, it's the same old boring jokes. It's safe. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I've been for a long time.
Yep. And I'm watching like this IRL shit. And I'm not like locked in like parasocial. I don't really care. But it's on my other monitor. It's great content. I'm laughing my ass off. You never know what the fuck he's going to do. He's like a little 19-year-old. He has no like social awareness. He doesn't know how to thank people properly. Like every discussion that he has with somebody and every interaction, he's very sus. You know what I mean? Even if he's not doing anything illegal, like Coast Guard boarded his fucking boat. He didn't do anything wrong, and they wanted to arrest him because just the way he was acting, you know. So anyway, for me, that's what I've been up to. Gonna keep on watching that. New season of Survivor. Trying to catch up on that, even though modern Survivor is kind of boring to me.
You haven't watched Survivor in a while.
Yeah, it's kind of like whatever. But what about you, man? What have you been watching? What do you got going on?
Well, I haven't really watched anything because we've been on vacation, but I did have to sit in the car for 16 hours there and 17 hours back. So with a whole lot of listening to the radio, and at some point, for some reason, it crossed my mind that my kid, I felt like, was old enough to finally be introduced to a band called the Insane Clown Posse. So I decided to throw on some ICP and see what my kid thought about it. And he didn't really give me a reaction. Like, he didn't hate it, but he didn't like it. He said they're crazy. I don't know how well you know ICP, so I ran him through.
Oh, very well.
Good stuff. Great Malenko's my favorite album, so I ran him through most of my favorite songs on Great Malenko and a few other songs. And then I brought him up to The Unveiling. Do you know about The Unveiling song?
No.
Bro, my God. So, look. With ICP, as you probably know, and maybe a few people in the chat may know, they have 6 different albums. They call them the Joker cards. And during the whole process of them releasing these 6 albums over a length of over 10 years, they're always telling you that this is all leading up to something. On the 6th card, everything is going to be put on the table, and everything's leading up to the Dark Carnival and this and that. And then finally on the 6th album, the very, very last song is called The Unveiling. And in that song, they started off talking about like all this stuff they had told you in the past, and now it's no more double talk. Now we're going to give you the true secret. And at the very end of the verse, they say the secret is we follow God and have always followed God, and we hope all juggalos can find them. And then the rest of the song is like a gospel. It's mind blowing that all this time they're talking about stretching at your nuts and flinging them up your butthole, but in reality, they're big time Christians, and the whole thing was to get people to follow God and go to heaven.
Huh.
Look up that song. It's called THY, Thy Unveiling. It's mind-blowing. It blew my mind. I don't know if it blew my kid. I was trying to blow my kid's mind. It's just crazy that it all led up to this and the whole thing. And even in the song, they're like, we're not sorry if we tricked you. Like, that's part of the chorus.
Huh. Because my whole thing with ICP...
Don't even know that.
So I had 3 really good friends of mine growing up. Because we were all, metalheads. We had the goth people, the ones that wore the trench coats, and had, what I'm saying, all the shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And there was always a small group that was like, the juggalos, right? It was like,
yes, sir.
They would always go, they paint their faces up, they got the Fago, right? That was the Eminem line, right?
Yep.
He's like, and they spray themselves with, what was the line? He's like, and they paint themselves with clowns, and they spray themselves with Fago because they look, a word I'm not going to say on the show. But, I remember like this time frame, and I always be like, what is up with this ICP shit? But they did have a few songs that were always stuck in my head. And I can't remember the fucking song. I gotta look up the song for this real quick.
The best one is the dating game song. Ronnie Lido is correct. That's like the best song ever made. It's called The Netting Game, where it's really just a game show. It's freaking hilarious. They got one, House of Horrors, the one about the boogeyman.
Chicken hunting was our jam. That was ours.
I don't know that one that well. I've heard of it. And my axe.
What was the other one? And I think, so Great Malenko was 1997, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been right around the time of, we were in high school. That was probably the time frame, we were going to Manson concerts, and they were doing the ICP stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I loved me some Great Malenko. That was back when I had speakers in my first car ever, and I had big speakers in them, and I would play Great Malenko really loud. Big A says the alpha is play off the grid, y'all. Start building
Not wrong.
Your guns tokens. Bruin88 says good luck on surgery. April 3rd, Mo.
Thank you.
Ronnie Lido's been watching Silo because of the pyramids. Oh, yeah, he's deep into the pyramids now. If Ronnie Lido believes, that makes me believe, dude. He doesn't believe anything. Tippy tippy toes. Is that a ICP sound? ICP line? Sounds like it. Did you throw on the dating? Yes, that's my favorite one. The Netting Game. I don't know the chicken hunting song. I know the one that's my axe is my buddy. Rob T says,
who's going chicken hunting? We're going chicken hunting. Who's going chicken hunting? We're going chicken hunting.
To Andrew Dice Clay to and from Florida. I did throw on some stand-up during the trip for sure. Yeah. I had to be careful who I put on.
I hung out with Dice.
Did you really?
I haven't tell you this story. I've told the story on stream. I'll tell you this real quick. I used to deliver pizza, and I used to call into Opie and Anthony. I used to play the Stoner Spelling Bee with Jim Brewer
Oh yeah.
on Fridays. So they knew me as like Joe, the pizza delivery guy. And the one time they put me on the air, I was actually delivering the pizza, so I was like, "That'll be $14," and they thought I was selling weed on the radio. They got pissed, and they were like, and I was like, "Who would sell a bag of weed for $14?" They're like, "Yeah, good point." But anyway, so Dice used to be on there, so I called in and we used to chat, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll be at Tower Records in Long Island." I was like, "Oh, I work over there." Blah blah blah. He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I make comedy music." He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'd love to hear." He's like, "Come on down, right?" So I was like, "All right." So I, on pizza delivery, I took a delivery, bro. I was gone for 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
I fucking went all the way to Tower Records, got there, saw the line. I was like, "Shit, I can't." Like, so I went around. I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Dice knows I'm coming." I was like, I talk to him on the radio all the time. Like, just go ask him. Sure as shit, bro. Go up. They talk to him. He's like, "Oh, Joe from the radio." Yep. Fucking call me over. Went over there, hung out with him. We went back to the limo area, bro. They were doing mad fucking blow.
I'll bet.
Mad blow.
I guarantee it.
He did a line of coke off my album, off my comedy album.
That's awesome.
Then gave me and my homie, actually the dude I live above now, gave me 2 tickets to the MSG show.
Nice.
And we had backstage and all that shit, bro. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, so actually had a chance to hang out with him, meet him. Really fucking good dude.
Yeah, Dice
really,
seems
really
like the
good
type
dude,
of person
man.
that you can hang out with for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, people don't like him because of what he says and whatever, but at his core, he's not like a bad guy. He just might not like the words that come out of his mouth, you know?
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Ronnie Lato says Violent J is actually a nice guy, and podcasts and interviews I've seen him in. Yes, I've seen a couple interviews. Both of them seem like they're nice dudes. I did not know they owned the Fago company. That makes sense though. Were they always on Howard Stern too? Probably. I know they did wrestling too. They did a lot of wrestling. I think they did a lot with WCW. Then they started their own wrestling organization. Bruno,
Pretty sure ICP was on Howard Stern, yeah.
I
pretty
guess
sure.
so. They used to play at Harpo's in Detroit all the time. Ronnie Lato also had a system. I had it in my, I want to say like a 97 Cavalier. It might have been an 87 Cavalier. Yes, Dice is a legend. Yeah, it's crazy that Mo got to hang out with Dice one-on-one. I know you don't like country, but Willer Walker
Oh, it wasn't
Jr.
one-on-one.
Oh, it wasn't one-on-one. Well, you know what I mean. You got to hang out with him
Yeah,
face
he had
to
his
face.
entourage. Yeah, he had his entourage and everything, but...
Dan K, I don't
we
hate
got cool
country.
stories, man. We hung out with some cool people. We bought weed for Snoop when I lived in Cali.
That's crazy.
We got shunned by Gwen Stefani.
What?
Yeah, what a fucking girl. She's the biggest fucking cunt in the industry, bro. I'm telling you this shit right now.
Oh, really?
It was right after she had her baby, and like she was so like I mean, I get it. You know, you're famous. You don't want the baby showing up in photographs and all this, but like, we were just working a goddamn show, and they were like, "Gwen's entering the premise. You have to put away all your phones, all cameras, turn around,
What?
fucking face the wall." And I'm like, "Bro, this ain't no military shit. It ain't that real." We walked right by the bitch, fucking smoking cigarettes, had fucking weed out in it, bro. We didn't give a shit, dude. Like she's like that. Anyway,
That's kind of crazy. Dan K says, if you like country, check out Willer Walker Jr. There's some country music I like. Alan Jackson, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Give me some old Garth Brooks, Shameless. There's some stuff I like, bro. Bronedit says the Detroit-based hip-hop group Insane Clown Posse is known for referencing Fago in their music and spraying their fans with Fago showers at their concerts. They don't own it, though, says Bruin88. Oh, okay. He says apparently that was misinformation. They would have been smart if they would have bought it. But yeah, I
was going to say, maybe they bought it after the fact, because that would have been definitely a good business
that would have been
move.
smart. Yeah, I never got to go to an ICP concert. I was really close to going to one time. It would have been awesome. I want to go and get a Fago shower, but it has not happened yet, and I'm too old now. New weekly segment, Stories with Mo. Yeah, Mo's got lots of stories. We want to hear some more celebrity stories from Mo next week for the show.
I got Beyonce. We got a Beyonce story that's pretty good. She's actually really chill. Well, I don't forget, I did merch. So I did merch
right.
for the concert venue up on the whole West Coast in Cali. So like we did a lot of traveling, a lot of stuff, everything from Britney to fucking Jonas Brothers to fucking metal shows, the Wu-Tang reunion. Oh yeah, we got stories, man. Trust me.
Nice.
We got fucking stories.
The only celebrity story I have is with Larry Flint, if you know who Larry Flint is.
Oh yeah.
Ronnie Leto says, for the record, anytime I got something wrong, please correct me. I thrive on correct information. Says the guy who believes that there's a bunch of towers underneath the pyramids. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine believing that shit.
I know.
Jesus Christ. Couldn't be me.
Like I said, I'm gonna dig into that a little bit more. I want to see the actual like press conference or the release about it, because maybe there's more to it than I thought. Right at this point, I feel like I need more proof to believe it, because it seems just so fantastical. But maybe I can get that proof myself by going down the rabbit hole a little bit more like Mo did. But all right, y'all, it's about time to wrap it up for this week's Tales from the Crypto. This is our live stream we do every Tuesday. Like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I had some computer problems. It completely crashed, so I'm going to have to rebuild the stream hopefully by next week, so we'll have more than just this one scene, and we'll hopefully have some graphics next week. And I'm sure we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about. There's always lots of stuff happening, especially in the world of politics. And if there's any particular paranormal topics you guys want us to check out or talk about next week, hit either me or Mo up on Discord or Twitter, and we'll try to broach that topic. If you want to follow Mo on Kick, then just follow him over on Twitter. You can get to all of his channels from there. His Twitter account is linked down in the description, and I will probably be live this weekend for the VV drops, if we have some VV drops, and if the app's still working. A lot of people complaining about the app right now, how slow it is. All right, everybody in the chat, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thanks for participating and chatting with us, and hanging out on Tuesdays. We appreciate it. Thank you, Mo, for co-hosting once again. And I will see
man. Thank you.
y'all next week. Later, everybody.
See you next Tuesday.